And we've started the recording, so you know.
That's lovely, thank you. And the meeting's now being live streamed on Facebook. So welcome everybody. This is incredibly exciting. My name's Sue Cooper. I am the founder of MOMM, Moments of Mass Mindfulness. And this is the Global Meditation and Mindfulness Day for in celebration of the Global Mother's Day for most of the world. And it's the mother and the child, but it's also the celebration of Mother Earth and us, her children, and bringing forward the divine feminine, of the essence of love and nurturing and care and compassion on this very special day as we celebrate the mother in its many aspects. So I'm here with two beautiful friends, Elaine Griffiths, who's the CEO of the Monastery in Gorton in Manchester, and Gill Harbach, who is the Gnostic Researcher at this beautiful place, who they're going to talk a little bit and welcome you to the space. But for the moment, it would be really very special if we could just settle in and take a moment, collective breath together to bring us right here, right now, into this present moment. So let me guide you in this. People are still coming forward, and that's absolutely fine. We have everybody on mute, and we ask you if you would stay muted throughout. And also a little later on, if you could have some headphones nearby after the break, because we'll be playing some live music later on. And if you've got headphones, you can get an even better experience. So let's settle in right here, right now. So I invite you to either close your eyes or lower your gaze, or simply look at the beautiful backdrop behind in this sacred space. And then connect with a long, slow breath in, staying within the realms of comfort. And then breathing out. So breathing in and slowly breathing out, fully exhaling on the out breath. And it may be that you feel that you want to relax the belly, take the shoulders back a little to expand the heart space. Consciously tilt the chin down just a little to feel a stretch at the back of the neck. And maybe even raise a smile on the lips. And as you do this, the body moves into a place of comfort as you breathe in this space, in this place of balance within the body, as we gently calm the mind naturally. Staying in this place, giving gratitude and appreciation to yourself for being here, and expanding that out into your place wherever you are, and then expanding it even further into the world. Gratitude and appreciation. Settling into this moment right here, right now. And when you're ready to slowly open your eyes, we gently greet you from Gorton Monastery in Manchester, England. This afternoon in England, this morning in parts of America, we're going to enjoy conversations, meditations, poetry, and music. And as the day progresses, various beautiful speakers will come and join. Everybody is giving their time for free. So we're all volunteering this. So forgive us if occasionally there's a little blip, but that's the nature of doing this for the first time in this beautiful spot. So I'd love to now invite Elaine Griffiths and Gill Harbach to talk a little bit about this sacred place that we're in today.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, from our point of view, I would like to offer a very, very warm welcome to everyone, wherever you are, into our beautiful sacred space here at the monastery today. I know that some of you have been here in person before, and obviously that isn't possible at this moment in time to welcome you all here. Hopefully it won't be too long before we can all gather again together, because this place has been created for exactly this purpose, for us to gather together in love, in peace, in harmony, and to actually share across the world the highest possible energies so that we can create a better world. The whole project has been quite a journey for all of the team here. We took on this derelict site almost 25 years ago and had no idea how it was going to change all of our lives. We hadn't appreciated the magnitude of the task that was in hand, but because this is a sacred building, it's actually unfolded in divine timing, and the miracles have manifested here. And one of the things we've actually learnt about this incredible site is that it is linked around the whole of the planet to major sacred sites through its ley lines and its energetic alignments. So I will allow Gill just to explain a little bit more about that, but we will look forward to joining you later on and explaining a little bit more in detail about the magic of this monastery. Thank you.
Thank you. So the monastery is built on a northeast-southwest orientation, which is very different from most churches. And because of that, that means that every day we get a calendar of light comes through. Unfortunately, the sun's not out today because sometimes we get it when we're recording and you'll get a ladder of light come up behind us on the floor. But hopefully maybe during the next 4 hours, the sun will come out. So the northeast-southwest means that we are aligned to the winter solstice and the summer solstice. And many other sites around the world are also aligned this way as well. So you've got Stonehenge, you've got Chartres Cathedral in France, and you've also got the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. And interesting enough, as Elaine mentioned earlier, one of our energy lines goes from this monastery literally down the center of where we're sitting here, and that goes through and out through the building and out to the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. So, and obviously it carries on from there as well. And it also goes out another way through to America as well. So those of you who are sitting in America, you are linked to us not only by the airwaves, but you're also linked by the earth waves as well. So welcome to this lovely space.
Thank you so much, Gill and Elaine. May I just share a little bit about the MOMM journey over the next few minutes? Is that in 2016, I had a dream, and this dream woke me up where I was to write down the words that were coming through, which this has never happened to me before. And it was to co-create compassionate communities throughout the world and to integrate holistic healing hubs. I didn't understand actually what that meant, and I realized I didn't really need to, but my background in nursing for 45 years and training with Dr. Deepak Chopra and team in Ayurveda, plus becoming a meditation and mindfulness teacher with Sarah McLean, enabled me to look at the holistic model again in a totally new way. And I asked 9 people to come forward. Again, I was shown the 9 people to come forward, and everybody came to see how we could actually bring this into manifestation. And 5 years ago today, we had our very first mass meditation in my town, Nottingham in England, where about 700 to 800 people came to meditate on the market, in the market square, with the holistic practitioners all the way around the outside. And people over the 4 hours found each other. And from that, today, we have moved forward as a global movement, again in service to the world, to co-create compassionate communities. So as we move forward today, the monastery will be able to, Elaine and Gill, a little later on in the next hour, will be able to tell you a little bit about where the monastery is looking to position itself within that vision. So as we're here in this moment, I would really now like to just take a moment and find the mother and the child, which is going to be expressed through Positively Empowered Kids CIC, Jackie Wilson and Claire Clements, who I'm hoping are here in the Zoom room. At the moment, I can only see ourselves. Let me just change to gallery view. Excuse me. And we will join with, let me see. Jackie, I can see you waving. So if you'd be good enough, Susie, to pin Jackie and Claire and Dan somewhere as well. I can see Dan. I'd like to introduce, it's with the greatest of delights that Jackie and Claire came together actually at the very first event in Manchester that I've just described in 2017. I'm an ambassador for the Positively Empowered Kids CIC, based in Nottingham, but they have networks now throughout the UK, growing beautifully from a very firm foundation, and also expanding out as we move into Charter for Compassion with many beautiful people around the world. So Jackie and Claire are founders of this dynamic network, supporting the vision of all children being positively empowered kids, supported by a community ecosystem which nurtures their growth and development in all dimensions of their well-being. The conscious parent, the creative teacher, the vibrant community, and happy friendships are all vital. Positively Empowered Kids is a multi-award winning network of dedicated and inspiring experts, all working to support the next generation. And there'll be more about them put in the chat room. So it's with the greatest of delight that I pass the mantle to Jackie and Claire for the next 20 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you for that beautiful introduction, and happy Mother's Day to everybody in this room and everyone watching. We're absolutely honoured to be part of this journey and this experience today. So thank you for having us. Can feel the power in the room already. So I am Claire Clements, and can put Jackie Wilson here as well. And as Sue said, we are co-founders of Positively Empowered Kids. We have been on quite a journey over the past couple of years, and particularly the past year, where we've really stepped into bringing our social enterprise into a more conscious space. So everything that we are doing is all around creating a conscious and compassionate environment for all those that we work with the aim of reaching as many children to help them become conscious, creative, compassionate beings themselves. And as we know, this comes from the people that surround that child to help to influence that and to help keep a child on that journey. So for us, the healthy ecosystem, as we call it, which I'll talk about more later, of a child means that a child can thrive and can really be their true self, and therefore be passionate about what they do and live their happiest and healthiest life. And as we know, the mother is one of the most influential elements of the child's ecosystem. So on that note, I'm going to pass you to the beautiful Jackie Wilson, my partner in positivity, and she's going to read a lovely poem for you all.
Thank you, Claire. So thank you again for having us. This is a poem that
really touched my heart over 10 years ago. And as a mum, it was quite interesting, and it's something that I've really checked in with over many, many years, because it really does resonate with me. And I would invite you to listen, obviously, but if you wish to close your eyes and just take the words in, you can do that too. So this poem is called On Children by Khalil Gibran. So, your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable.
Beautiful. I'm sure you can all resonate with some of that, and it's actually quite emotive. And for those of you that have got children, to sort of really tune into that poem. So, as we know, today most of the world is celebrating Mother's Day, and Jackie and I are both mothers ourselves, as I'm sure are many of you, and we want to bring our attention to the mothers in the parenting role while we speak today. And when we were discussing kind of what we wanted to come out of this, for me, my own personal experience really kind of came through. And I thought it was really useful. I mean, I have a daughter who's 10 years old, and Jackie will tell you more about her, but she's got 3 beautiful children herself. And I felt that actually for me to tap into how I felt when I was pregnant would be a really good starting point, because that is where the parenting journey begins. Before the baby even arrives, we become a parent when we learn the knowledge that we are carrying a child. And for me, that enormous sense of responsibility was huge, in terms of knowing that you've got that little person growing inside of you, that you want to be, you know, looking at their potential. You want them to be able to live a happy life and fulfill their potential and be happy in whatever they do. That kind of came across really strongly to me. And I'll be honest, I was one of those mums that was walking around as if I was the first person ever in the world to be pregnant, because I just felt so blessed that I had this child inside of me, and I just felt so proud. Makes me emotional, actually. Just felt so proud that, you know, that I've been able to conceive, and, you know, all my efforts and energy and love just went into this pregnancy and into, you know, kind of knowing that love was going to actually resonate with my child even inside of me. And that was kind of really a joyful time for me, to the extent that actually I felt a little bit sad when I was losing my pregnancy bump after I'd actually had my baby, because that connection from the inside felt just so special and so strong. And in terms of being a conscious parent, I wanted to continue that awareness and that bond with my child. So, for example, when I used to go on walks and push the pushchair, I purposely got a pushchair that, the baby was facing me. And I was very conscious of not being on my phone when I was pushing her around the park. I just wanted that time to really connect with her all the time, which had its perils for me, because I did suffer with postnatal depression, and I then found going back to work, actually really hard, because I didn't want to break this bond. But actually, looking at this poem that Jackie's just read, we know that we cannot control our child. We want what's best for them, but we can't control in which direction that goes. We can't make things happen. We can't alter our child's being, their spirit and their soul. It's about connecting with your child and allowing them to be who they need to be, who they want to be, and knowing that that might change 100 times over the course of their childhood, but allowing those opportunities for them to explore who they really are for themselves, rather than who we think that they maybe should be or could be. And so that's, for me, is kind of really strong and kind of what came through on this poem. So looking at that potential of our children, and for Jackie and I, it's very much about looking at the potential of all the children around us in our world, not just our own. It's how can we help other people to make that conscious connection, and that comes from the heart. So being really mindful and consciously aware of our actions, of our words, how we're speaking to ourselves, which is a really important one, because we know that a baby arrives full of pure potentiality from a mother of pure potentiality. So we all have the capability to be the best that we can be, and to allow ourselves to not be sometimes, because that's okay as well. So passing on that wisdom to the child. And I've got a little quote that, again, it really moves me quite significantly, and it's a very simple quote, and I just want to share it with you now. No one will ever know the inner strength of my love for you. After all, you're the only one who knows what my heart sounds like from the inside. It's absolutely beautiful, and that's such a special thing that, you know, many of us can say. But we can get stuck in our beliefs and our emotions, and I'm going to pass you on to Jackie before I tear up anymore to continue talking to you. Thank you.
Gosh, that's very powerful, that quote. It got me as well. So as Claire said, I am also a mother of 3 children, and my parenting journey has been quite a journey. I had 2 children quite young, and that was a very difficult time for me with my mental health. And it was quite a big struggle. So I would class myself at that time as being quite an unconscious parent, not really understanding what I do now. However, I was very blessed. I had a gift of another child up here, and with a 10-year gap between my first 2, and that really has been a journey bringing me into a conscious parenting realm, which has rippled out to all 3 of my children. My eldest is 24 and my youngest is 12 now. So it has been extraordinary. So Claire and I both speak from experience, and yes, I'm a mindfulness teacher as well, but real experiential experience is what I speak about is based on. So for me, growing mindful awareness of what is present in our mind, in when we're feeling out of balance. For example, it could be, you know, through the thoughts, the feelings, the sensations, could be actions that we're doing, our behavior. If we're aware of that for me is the very first step in a parenting journey of conscious parenting. And it's important in these moments to first and foremost to bring our attention into our heart space. And I'd love to invite you to just, I'm not going to take you into a meditation, but just place your hands on your heart space. And we're going to take just 2 slow breaths to really connect in with the words I'm going to speak after this. So I invite you to take a deep breath as if you're breathing into and out of your heart. So breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. And just keeping your attention on your heart. Just take a moment to be self-compassionate right now, parent or not a parent. Just be a witness to your experience in this moment. Be accepting of yourself in whatever that experience is, with kindness with love for ourselves. This just calms the mind, just brings your mind into a calm space. And from this space, if we are a parent, we can beautifully connect with our child. We can see them for who they are. We can start to experience the world through their eyes. Being really curious. You know, I see my children as teachers. They really are my teacher. And it helps us to discover unspoken messages of a child's needs at any moment. It could be that they need some connection through their behaviour. It could be that they need to feel safe or stable or just really loved. And with that heart-to-heart connection with a child, and when we tune in to listen with kindness, we can flow through the experience with love, and we can really help to guide them back into their own hearts, into a coherent space in their mind, body, and spirit. And that really empowers a child. The more we can kind of co-support them through their challenges, rather than seeing a behaviour, we really just want to tune in with that child through their challenge so that they can bring themselves eventually into their own coherence and be able to move through any challenging situations with ease and flow, and keeping that real connection with your child going, even when they are going through their teen years, as my little one is right now. Right.
So, Positively Empowered Kids, we are absolutely passionate about collaborating and creating a compassionate, conscious world for the future and for the future generations to come. We want to raise conscious and compassionate children, and we do this through the ecosystem of a child, as we've mentioned, through creating or helping to support parents, educators, businesses, communities, to become more compassionate and conscious, to empower those children around them, to give them a voice, to let them be heard, and to give them the respect of that, and to listen to their views and opinions, so that they can become positive change makers that can affect the future generations to come. We do this through online events, free online events. You can visit our Facebook page. We actually did the most powerful conscious parenting event in September, and you can watch back all the amazing speakers and videos on our YouTube channel as well. And we have an empowerment hub, a family empowerment hub, which is completely free. You can sign up on our website, and there's over 50 videos on there of different experts that you can tap into to help improve your well-being as a parent, but also your children's, with lots of tools and techniques. And on that note, we're talking about motherhood, and this leads us beautifully into empowering our future generation and connecting with Mother Earth on this beautiful day today. So we have just very recently, just 3 weeks he's been with us, we've got Dan Barker. I think we're going to pin Dan in a minute so you can all see him. Give us a wave, Dan. Okay. So Dan is a Kickstarter. He's our first employee. We're really keen to get a young person on board and work out what his talents and skills were and how that can complement our business and help us to move forward. But Dan came to us with his own unique skills as well. And we are delighted that he has this opportunity to speak and to share his other project, which connects with Mother Earth. So Dan, we'll pass over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So hi, I'm Dan Barker. I'm the founder of the George Hickling Restoration Project, and the mission of the project is to find, restore, and share and digitize the work of George Rusticus Hickling. I happen to be exactly 7 generations away from George, so it's my duty, as well as my honor and my privilege, to bring forth his voice and his art to the 21st century, I suppose. I just want to take a second just to thank Sue and the entirety of Moments of Mass Mindfulness for allowing me to be here and be a part of this. Very excited. And also to Jackie and Claire and all of Positively Empowered Kids, because they've opened so many doors for me and empowered me so much within the past 3 weeks alone. I'm honored to be associated with not just both organizations, but also the inspiring women behind them as well. So I'm going to share now an excerpt from The Pleasures of Life, Canto 4. And this poem was published in the book of the same name in 1862. Life is in itself a blessing, streaming from a fount above, ever flowing, ever glowing, ever gleaming, full of love. See the myriad tribes of nature, every family and grade. They employ it, they enjoy it, thankful they were ever made. Birds are singing, lambs are sporting, daisy lifts its lovely head. Sweet devotion, soft emotion, hover over the violet's bed. Morn with golden glances, flashing beams upon the hill. Bees are humming, joy is coming, dancing on the sparkling rill. Charming sounds and mystic voices echo through the sylvan scene, all conspiring, soul inspiring, eddying on the deep serene. Beauty paints the vales and meadows, life adorns the mountainside. Music thrilling, ever filling, hearts with voluptuous tide, with joy's voluptuous tide. So yeah, I'm very pleased to also announce that that book, the same book, is in the process of being digitized and restored and will be coming very soon for free for everyone. So yeah, keep an eye out. Thank you so much, and love always.
Thank you so much, Dan, and Jackie and Claire. Could we just take a moment just to simply embed the beauty that we are currently experiencing of the place we are beaming out from, Manchester, Gorton Monastery. Also to Jackie and Claire, bringing in the conscious awareness of loving parenting. Bringing in the voice of Dan, the 7th generation, bringing his great-great-great-great-great-grandfather's work from the 1800s back into the present moment in a totally new entirety, into the digital world, where George would have had no idea when he wrote his words down on paper that Dan, that you would be present sharing this today on Global Mother's Day. So bringing the voice of the grandfather and the masculine voice all the way through to bring into balance. And this is the very essence of MOMM and the work that so many of us are doing to bring back to balance the masculine and the feminine and the child, the birth of the new that is coming through in this emerging world. So let's just take a moment. So, as we start to move into the next part